given that c vector is equal to a vector minus 2 times b vector, and that the components are given by a sub x equals 3, a sub y equals minus 4, b sub x equals minus 12, and b sub y equals 5, what are the components of c? So again, we're going to use that vector equation as a guide here. So if I want to find the x component of c, I'm just taking this vector equation and rewriting it in terms of the components. And this is something we're going to wind up doing later on in this class as a skill. This is something we need to know how to do that will make sense. And maybe I want to mention really quickly that this type of example is one I've not seen many textbooks do. Our textbook does a lot of stuff with analytical methods for adding vectors, but I'm looking at examples that I think are really have a lot of carryover into what we're going to be doing anyway. So a sub x equals 3, so I put that in there. Then I'm going minus 2, and I got to go find b sub x. I like to put a parenthesis here because that's a negative, and that'll make it clear how I'm substituting in the minus 12 for b sub x into this formula. And let me see. The 2 times a minus 12 would be a minus 24, but there's another minus there, so it's really a plus 24 plus 3. So I'm getting 27 for that one. And then for the y components, we do a similar setup with the component equation guided by the vector equation. And then we can go and plug in the appropriate numbers here for each of those components. And let me see, I'm just trying not to mess up here. It's pretty easy to screw up when I'm not paying attention. So even though this question is, I think, reasonably straightforward and simple, but what I find is if you're not careful, it's easy to accidentally mistake an x and a y somewhere. So you want to make sure you're keeping your notation straight. In that sense, these subscripts have the utility of making sure that I'm putting the right things in the right place. Let me see. So now we got minus 4 and really minus 10 if you work that out. So I think that's minus 14. So I've got c sub x equals 27 and c sub y is equal to minus 14. Let's see. Okay, it looks like I didn't make any mistakes on that one.